Hold on, I think people live. Let me go. I don't know why my phone do this every time. It shows me. Okay, we live now. Black African Power family. Uh, I'm messing up. But yeah, thanks for coming back to the Mossi Warrior Clan YouTube channel. Today I'll be doing a presentation on Kwanzaa. What is Kwanzaa, and is Kwanzaa a real African celebration? Um, Before we get started, I see people coming in the chat now. Before I get started, start sharing my screen. I got Dr. Oyama Ott on the panel. I got Satep and Mary Amen on the panel, and I have Vasa Nicolo Gala on the panel. So before we get started, I always try to get the people on the panel if they got something to say before I start presenting. Y'all can go ahead and unmute your mics.
I just want to say peace and love to you, Brother Kofi. Peace and love to Brother Satep. Peace and love to Brother, it says Yasa. But peace and love to those brothers on the panel, people who are listening live and people who will be listening in the archive. Brother Kofi, I'm looking forward to this presentation. I know you're going to bring that fire. And so I'm just going to sit back and hear what you have to say, brother. Peace and love.
Peace. Satep and Rob Mariaman. Glad to be on the panel with my brother Kofi, Dr. Mayat, and my brother Vasa. And yeah, I hope y'all enjoy the show.
Peace to everyone on the panel, and peace to everyone in the chat and the future audience. I'm gonna go back to mute and let Brother Kofi do his thing.
All right. Well, family, please like the show, share the show. Well, like it if you like it, thumbs it down. If you don't like it, it doesn't matter to me. Just do something, either or to me. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. It's gonna be a quick bill, and again, I'm just proposing a question. What is Kwanzaa? And is Kwanzaa a real African celebration? Share my screen. Peace to the folks in the chat. Present everybody. Peace. Cedric Brown, peace. Sister Kaba, Sister Monica, peace. Tonika Maas, if I'm pronouncing your name right. Um, peace. Al Cuba Line Unity Alliance, peace, brother. Peace. Brother Garfield, peace. Sutek Aru Alafie, brother. Peace. Mac Tib. Okay. All right. Let's get into it. All right. Is my screen sharing, y'all? Is it screen in Facebook? Yes, I see it. Peace, brother Jehudi. Peace, brother. All right. Today's presentation is called What is Kwanzaa, and is Kwanzaa a real African celebration? This is a question that I'm proposing. I did a presentation last year. I don't know what the name of it, but it was dealing with Kwanzaa. I actually did a two-part presentation to Kwanzaa on Kofi Piesie TV. This here is a new presentation on the Mossi Warrior Clan channel, and this time I am proposing a question, and we're going to talk about what is Kwanzaa, and we're going to see if it's a made up uh, or is it a real African celebration. Okay, disclaimer. I always have to put a disclaimer out here before I get started. My disclaimer is I am not a teacher, but merely a student sharing information. And that information provided is for the educational purpose only. And if you are in doubt, do the research or have it verified by someone qualified. I reserve the right to change the focus of this presentation to shut down, sell, or exchange the terms of use at my own discretion. All trademark, design rights, copyrights, religious names, mottos, logos, avatars, or signals and marks used or cited by this website are the property of their respective owners. I reserve the right to add information as it comes available, or adapt changes, improve information as it comes available in the future. Inputs wanted, changes, additions, deletions, or encouraged. I'm going to say it again. Inputs wanted, changes, additions, deletions, or encouraged. So I have no problem with my information being critiqued. I have no problem with listening to people. I have no problem with updating information as it comes available. I have no problem with improving my information. This is my saying. I believe in this saying here. As I learn, we all learn. All right, family. Before I get started, I'm stating Kwanzaa is not a Black Christmas. Someone asked me that the other day as I was trying to explain to them what Kwanzaa was, and it was never intended to be. The very idea of Kwanzaa was practiced way before a Christmas invention. Kwanzaa means first fruit or first crops. There have been many African tribes, African clans, African countries putting on festivals celebrating the first crops and unity it took to do it. I'm already answering the question that I proposed it already, but we'll get further into that. Kwanzaa is a real African holiday. Some people say I do the past. I know I'll be honest, just 3 years ago, I thought it was a made up holiday as well. African holidays are celebrations that went by many different names. We're going to talk about those names and talk about it. Now, Kwanzaa, that many Africans and Americans celebrate in the United States, was redeveloped by Maulana Ron Karenga for the people of African descent here in Africa, and they're in excuse the typo, the diaspora Africans spread it all over the world. Kwanzaa is a 7-day festival of the first fruit, and it is a reestablishment of African traditions which express itself in many forms and at different times as celebrations of the harvest of the first crops. In some parts of Africa, it was celebrated for 40 days. In other places, 2 weeks. Some places for months. But the majority of the place on and around the continent, it seems to have been celebrated 7 days. It was a great harvest festival of the first fruit. Today, the African in America, or the diaspora African here in the Western Hemisphere, call it Kwanzaa. So again, Kwanzaa, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. Kwanzaa is a key Swahili word which means first fruit. First fruit or first crop. We'll get into a little bit further on down the line. If you look at the key Swahili word, it is spelled Kwanza. It does not have the extra A that you see on here now. The celebration of the first fruit was a time projected the heroes of African people and seasons which projected the beauty of our culture. It was a time of celebration, the sheer enjoyment of the fact we were alive and able to work together to harvest good crops that year and build a great tribe or a great nation wherever we were. Now that was the spirit of Kwanzaa meant when it was created in the early 90s, and that was and that what mean to us right now. I'll excuse the typos. I'm putting this together mighty quick. I wanted to try to close the year out. It was my turn to do a show, so I was trying to hurry up and close the year out. I've been super busy, so I try to throw this together real quick. So excuse the typos and bear with me. Okay, Kwanzaa, a new African celebration. It is a time when Black people come together to give thanks and enjoy the blessings of living and acting together. Kwanzaa is the distinctive and a new African holiday that is rooted in several different African harvest festivals. It is rich in symbolism and meanings. Kwanzaa is a Swahili word meaning first fruit, as I stated, or first crops. Family, you will find Swahili used frequently in the Black community because most of us in the Western Hemisphere do not know exactly which tribe we come from. And Kiswahili was also a Franco-lingua, meaning that it was a bridge language between two different clans, two different nations, two different African societies, two different African village. You may have one tribe that may be Ghanese. You may have another tribe that may be one may speak uh Yoruba. Another one may speak the Ga language. So that was a bridge. Or you may have one that was colonized by the French, one colonized by the British. So you had one speaking English, you had one speaking French. So Swahili was the bridge language between those two, where they was able to barter and trade and do different things and communicate with each other because they could not speak their native language or the colonized language that they were speaking by that they learned from the colonized. All right. Family, you will find Swahili used frequently in the black community because most of it is the Western Hemisphere do not know exactly which tribe we came from. Therefore, Swahili is a practical African language from us to embrace because it is a non-tribal trade language, as I stated. All right. Kwanzaa is a resurrection of traditional African celebrations that recognize the importance of working together. And you're going to keep hearing the word working together or pulling together and harvesting the first fruit. This holiday is from a particular geographical boundary on the continent. It is the kind of celebration that was common to most African societies through the names would be a variety as many languages that are spoken on the continent. Several African people celebrate such first harvest festivals. Among these are the Kamba and the Kikuyu of the Kenya. So these are some of the names that in Kenya. And Kenya, I think Kenya is East Africa, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's East Africa. So you would see the Kikuyu people and the Kaba people. They practice the first fruit. The Kaba call their harvest festival the Nagata, and the Igono Bono is the first fruit feast celebrated by the Kikuyu. So these are two different groups that are in Kenya, the Kaba and the Kikuyu people. One called their first fruit the Nagata, and the other one called that the Igono Bono. The Kisu of Uganda is another ethnic group in Uganda, offer their first fruits to the creator before any tasting them in a celebration called Impalu. And you see this, I spoke about this variety because I speak about a lot of ethnic groups in East, West, South, West. I talk about I talk about the lesser deities a lot. I talk about the creator, the supreme being a lot. I talk about the offerings that they give to the lesser deities, they give to the ancestors, and they give to the creator. And these are one that the Kisu people give. They give an offering or a taste to the creator. They go in, uh, do what they got to do, then they come back and reap the benefits from the harvest at the end of the year. Them pulling together to plant things for their survival so they can eat, they can have energy, and so forth. And then they give an offering, or the first test goes to the creator, and they have a celebration of the first fruit after they go back to reap the benefits from the work that they have put in. The first fruits before anyone tastes them in a celebration called the Impala. So the Kisu of Uganda call it Impalo. In Nigeria, the Katab celebrate their harvest by having a senior male of each household offer thanks for the yearly supply of food. All right, this is in South Africa here. The first fruit festivals of the Ngunu people. The Ngunu people is a ethnic group or a variety of different ethnic groups in South Africa. In Southern Africa, you got the Khoisan people, who is a part of the Ngunu people. You got the Zulu people, who is a part of the Ngunu people. You got the Ndebele people, who is a part of the Ngunu people, and you got the Swazi people, are a type of sacrificial ceremony of giving the first fruit in the harvest to their god or the gods. Again, I talked about this a lot with the lesser deity when we talk about the people, the Yoruba people, whether it's dealing with the Orishas, whether it's dealing with the people in Togo and Benin that deal with the Vudans, or the people in Haitian that deals with the Luau's, or the Obuzos with the people that deal with Ghana, or whether we go to North Africa and they deal with the not the Remich, but they deal with the Neters or the Neterus, or the gods who are believed to be responsible for the abundance of food. It was performed by the highest priest of the kingdom, and the king was always in attendance. Tradition a time of prosperity and good harvest experiencing after the seasonal agricultural period. It also brought nations together, unifying it at a time of merrymaking and quashing fears of famine. The traditional traditions are still practiced mainly in the kingdoms of the Kiswazulu, Kiwazulu, Nata, and Swaziland. These ceremonies are headed by the kings of the tribe, namely King Msawati, the third in the Swaziland, celebrated as Ikawalas, and the King Goodwill Ziwethi, and excuse me, family, if I'm mispronouncing the names of the Zulu nation, celebrated as the Koisi Wokwi Shawa. So the Swazi people called not Kwanzaa, but they call it Inkwalu, and the Zulu people call it the Nkosi Wok Washa Wama. The Voodoo and the end of the year ceremony. And again, these are ceremonies, the first fruit, these are ceremonies that are celebrated or celebrations take place and certain things happen, offerings, dancing, singing, tasting, and etc. So these are the end of the year. These different tribes. We in West Africa now. We're going to deal with the voodoo, with the voodoo tradition in Benin, Togo, and in Ghana. And these are, again, all of it is just the end of the year celebration. You put in work all year and then you reap the benefits from the work that you put in from the harvest. In the Voodoo tradition, Benin, Togo, and Ghana, during this time, many temples from the city of the Bush rule era are preparing to perform many rituals for what is known as the end of the year ceremony. In the U language, some know it as the Fa Ta Totro. In Fon language, some know it as the Mina Kappa Ali, or I don't know what I don't even know what that is. I ain't even try to finna try to pronounce it. It is a time of rejuvenation. It is a time for celebration and gratitude to all voodoo spirits and their contribution to our lives for the year. The notions of gratitude is a very important in African traditions. Even initiates, both international and domestic, who can make it to ceremonies will still send money to their temples to express gratitude, but it is also a time to make your wishes and ask what is needed for yourself, family, and community. Coming together into the new year, etc. So the rituals play a vital role in ensuring that the results we are looking for will manifest. We celebrate through various rituals, music, singing, dancing, also on opportunities for some priests and initiates to show their abilities. So we are doing all these things now in the Kwanzaa celebrations, these 7 days from December uh, the 26th to January, what is it, the first or the second, whichever that day is on the 7th. So those different days we do certain things. We'll get into that. Those 7 days, though, we'll get into those principles, and we do all those things. We do rituals. We have certain music. We do singing. We do dancing. We feed. We do all these things. uh, Ma, Malaran Kuranga rediscovered the festival of the first fruit and put it into new African perspective. Then organized the first Kwanzaa celebration in his San Diego based organization in 1966. So Kuranga started it uh, here in America, or in the wilderness of North America, or in the United States in the late 60s. The whole idea, according to Brother Karenga, was to create awareness and the appreciation among the U.S. blacks and their own culture heritage. Among the U.S. blacks and their own culture heritage, Brother Karenga further stated, when we celebrate our own holidays, it shows we speak for ourselves rather than other speakers for us. Karenga has since watched and observed becoming accepted in the black community in a major metropolitan areas across the country, and it does and does not himself claim to credit for the nurturing, its growth, and the rapid spread through the late 60s up until now. So this is the individual who started Kwanzaa in the late 60s, adopted some of those first fruits ceremonies um, in Africa, revitalized them for here and brought it to us. As to how Kwanzaa, and y'all, am I still showing in uh in YouTube? I mean on
Yeah, man, you
yeah.
good? Rock out.
Yeah, you good. Hey, Sean, that's a $50 fine for being late too. Get him, Vasa.
Get him, Bossa. Get him. Get him. uh and to how Kwanzaa, which means first, and is part of a phrase Matunda ya Kwanzaa. First fruit becomes Kwanzaa. Brother Karenga said he deliberately changed the spelling, and for good reasons. I said this a while ago when it's a Swahili or a Kiswahili word. And when you look at it, it is spelled Kwanza. But when you look at it, when we spell it over here, we spell it with two A's. Brother Karenga said he deliberately changed the spelling, and for good reason. At the very first observation in 1960, he explained that 7 children, the number of children in the organization at that time, wanted to present a short pageant, and each wanted to represent one day, one principle, and one letter of the holiday. We showed where our priorities are, Brother Karenga said, by placing people before formalities and added one letter. The modified spelling also served as a distinction, the Africans in America's nature of the celebration from the purely African one. So this is where the letter, the extra A comes from. In the late 60s, I can't remember the organization that Karenga had, and it was a big thing went on between him and the Black Panther Party during that time. But
Organization.
The Us organization.
Organization.
Us.
yeah.
I believe that's what it was called. The Us.
Yes, yeah, that's what it was. And so these young kids wanted to, do something with each for all 7 days, and with each letter spelling Kwanzaa. So he had to add another letter in order for Kwanzaa to spell out to actually have 7 letters in it. So this is where the extra A comes from in Kwanzaa. All right. The 7 beautiful days of Kwanzaa are celebrated between December the 26th to January the 1st. And on my earlier slides, I showed you that the first fruit or the first crops are celebrated by many ethnic groups. And I gave you the names, and I gave you maybe about 10 different ethnic groups in South Africa, East Africa, and in West Africa. So I gave you people in East Africa celebrating what we call Kwanzaa, which Kwanzaa means one day. I showed you in West Africa, East Africa, and South Africa. Some celebrated, the celebration goes on for 40 days. Some goes on for 2 weeks. Some goes on for 7 days. The 7 beautiful days in Kwanzaa are celebrated between December 26th and January the 1st. Each year, these dates coincide with the European Christmas season. There are the logical reason why Mulana Ron Karenga chose these days for the celebration of Kwanzaa. First, from time of immemorial, seems that many religions have added celebrations around this period, winter solstice. Second, instead of telling our people they should stop celebrating Christmas and leaving it at that, those of us who have delved deeply into and continue to search the ocean depths of Black historical knowledge understands well that it would be realistic to assume that Christmas holiday season could be completely obliterated in these days and times, since presently there are so many psychological traps set about for the masses which motivates them to celebrate during this season. Oh shoot, sorry. Third, December the 26th, January through the 1st is a period in which most people are given time off from work to celebrate. These are some of the practical realities that had to be taken into consideration into setting the dates of Kwanzaa. So this is the reason why Mala Karenga came up with the date December the 26th through 31st. Again, this is at the end of the year, and it is around the winter solstice. Also, this is a time where people um are off. You know what I'm saying? You are off. You know, some I'm fortunate for me, I'm not off, but most people get a week off. Some people get a couple of days off. Some people get 2 weeks off for work for Christmas and the New Year. So this will be a time, a perfect time uh, to put it together and people off and get it off the ground, and people can celebrate it and participate in the ceremony and the festivities. All right. The celebration of Kwanzaa revolves around, and excuse me, y'all, for the typos. Again, I've been super busy these last few weeks, and I threw this together at the last minute to kind of finish off the year for the Mossi Warrior clan. It was my time. I wanted to kind of chill, but my good brother Any Aret said I had to do something today, so I'm getting it in. The seven social and spiritual traditions of the Nguzo Saba, which means seven principles of the black of the black value system. One, you have unity. Two, you have self-determination. Three, you have collective works. Three, you have cooperative economics, which I did a presentation on cooperative economics as well uh, on Kofi Piesie TV. I did 2 parts last year on Kwanzaa. Six, creativity. Seven, faith. Each principle emphasize a different day, Kwanzaa, accompanied by the lighting of the candle, representing the principles for a day and discussing of the meanings of that principle. So the Ungaza Saba, the seven principles. Umanja, which is unity, to strive for the maintaining unity in the family, community, nations, and race. This is the first day. Then you have Kuji Chagula, which means self-determination. It means to define ourselves, name ourselves, create for ourselves, and speak for ourselves. This is day two. This will be the day two of lighting of the candle and discussing this seven principle. Ujama, collective works and responsibility to build and maintain our community together and make our brothers and sisters problems our problems and solve them together. And this is a very important part as well to me as far as collective efforts or cooperative economics, which we'll get to. But this is what uh, African culture or the way of the ancestors is built upon, is us coming together. If I got a problem, we all got a problem, and we're gonna solve the problem together. Um, if I got food, I got food for everybody. Nobody is hungry. And it's no I. It's about we. It's about us. It's about us progressing. It's about us coming together, solving our own problems. Ujima, and again, if I'm pronouncing these Swahili words wrong, any one of y'all on the panel can jump in and tell me I mispronounce them, because I do tear up words with my country self. Cooperative economics, to build and maintain our own stores, shop, and other businesses, and to profit from them together. And I see Sister Dr. Oyama, I been talking about this all week. You know, have y'all, the last 2 weeks, have y'all shopped at black owned businesses? You know they're gonna partake in the Christmas festivals and holidays, and even those that may participate in the celebrations of Kwanzaa all 7 days? Or are you buying from black-owned businesses? Are you supporting black-owned businesses? Are you growing black-owned businesses? Naya, purpose to make our celebration. So this is the what someone got something to say?
Yeah, before you go too far, I wanted to speak while you was on Ujima, because
Go ahead.
personally, my African word. From my understanding, it meant brotherhood. And there's a book called Uhuru na Ujima by
Mm-hmm.
Julius Nari. And there's a chapter in there where he talks about developing factories. And he said he preferred to keep them small. So we would have a dependency that remained on each other as we grow together, to where no one is bigger than the other and everyone keeps growing. I'm paraphrasing. And I believe that chapter is on the importance of reading as well. I'll go back to it because I don't want to take from your build. But yeah,
Oh, you good, man.
it's
You
Uji.
good?
And when I ask people, when I ask an elder to teach me anything about it, normally they revert to Kwanzaa, saying, "Oh, that's just a part of Kwanzaa," but no one really speaks about, from my understanding at the moment, it meaning brotherhood. So I just wanted to add that in as you was going.
Okay. But yeah, any one of y'all, man, anytime y'all y'all got something, man, or something to add or a jewel to drop, just stop, man. I'll stop. I ain't got no problem with that. I ain't the type that, man, let me get through and then y'all do y'all. I mean, just you got some, jump in. Feel free. Um, Kuamba, creativity. To do always as much as we can in the way we can in order to leave our community more beautiful and beneficial than we inherited. Imani, which is faith, to believe with all our heart in our people, our parents, our teachers, our leaders, and the righteousness and the victory of our struggle. So these are the seven principles. Here the Ungaza Saba, and these are each day are you will light a different candle, and you will go over these seven each principle for each day. Greetings. Each day of Kwanzaa represents one of the seven principles. On each day of the 7 days of the holidays, a special greeting is given. When greeting with Habarunigani, which means what is the news? The answer will be one of the Ungaza Saba seven principles of blackness. So one of y'all on the panel, if I gave this greeting, what would you greet me back with today?
Nia.
Nia, right? Decorations. These are some of the decorations. Somebody that may want to participate in it next year and do it from home, or you may have a celebration, a festival going on in your era. I have a festival going on in my era. I didn't weren't able to make it this year due to moving, and then uh, can't get off of work to even go to it neither. So they've been doing it for the last 7 days. They wrapping it up now. So these are, but you can do it from your own home. And these are some of the decorations. Approximately 1 week before the 26th, the house should receive a good cleaning so as to welcome the positive forces of your Kwanzaa decorations put up and arranged. A red, black, and green color scheme should be dominant, for these are the colors of our nation. That's right. And I don't care where I go. People know me. I'm gonna have on some red, black and green somewhere. If I ain't got on red and black and green clothes, I got on a, a necklace. I got on a bracelet. I got something on representing those colors at all times. Uh, Crepe papers, napkins, tablecloths, dishes, and cups are just a few things which can be used in the colors. Secondly, the main table should have a centerpiece of a straw basket or a cornucopia horn of plenty, filled with mixed tropical fruits and vegetables. Thirdly, Either the floor or a low table should be used to place the mikiki, which is a Swahili word for the straw mat, has been spread out. Place in the kanara, which is a Kiswahili word for 7 lamp candle holders. And these are the hold. This is the holder that you put the candles in the center. Then place the ear of the muhindi, which is a Swahili word for ear of corn, around it. Place the zawada, which is presents, which is presents, which you do give presents out uh in uh in Kwanzaa. Um, Actually, today you will give the zawadas, you will give the presents out on this day. On the Mikiki or the Kika in any arrangement that is artistic. The Zawada can, again, Zawada means presents, can be placed whenever. And, when you're making these presents, I mean, you can buy things, but you want to also give, before you give anything, someone got something to say?
I,
Go
Yeah,
ahead,
what
sis. Go
yeah,
ahead.
yeah.
I,
I just wanted to say that typically when you give out zawadi, which is a Swahili word which means presents, you typically give out books to children. I mean, you typically give zawadi to
Mhm.
children, and you
Right.
will give the child books or a heritage symbol. And
Mhm.
that's typically Sawadis. Like you don't go out and give them a Nerf gun, right? You give them a
Mhm.
book to emphasize the African value of learning, and then you give them a heritage symbol. So I just kind of wanted to add that.
Yes, and you can
if
also
if y'all don't
construct and make your own gifts. You can make you can make your own gifts yourselves if you want to make your own gifts. Go ahead, Vasa.
if y'all don't mind, I was going to read real quick. It says, keep in mind that giving of zawadi is not the primary focus of the holiday or of the gathering.
Hmm.
It should be done in the spirit of ma'at, the Kemetic ancient Egyptians principle, which upholds as one of its tenets, giving, seeking nothing in return. If it's made clear of at the, I'm reading in the dark, excuse me. If it's made clear at the outset that the gifts do not necessarily have to be reciprocated, givers will not feel slightly nor recipients obligated. Some families give sawadi only to the children, but most people delight in the gift given. So it's perfectly acceptable for adults to be on the receiving end. There is also a long time and new Kwanzaa celebrants who observe a handmade gift only rule. A flexible approach is usually most successful, however, and it's not
Hmm.
everyone to have a skill to create handmade gifts or the time to learn. I really wanted to emphasize, just to throw it in for everybody, that they made it a point to even say, practice my art with your gift giving, to give just straight from the heart and not seek nothing from return.
Brother, what was the name of the source that you're reading from?
It's Kwanzaa from Holiday to Everyday, a complete guide to the making of Kwanzaa a part of your life. By I don't want to mess up her name, Matifa Nganza. I'll type it in the chat, and then I'll try to see if there's a way that I can send everybody a link. I'm not a moderator on this channel, but I looked it up since the show began, and I believe it's $14 at the moment on Amazon.
Oh, okay. All right. I just wanted the people who can, who was listening to the bill know that Dr. Malena Karenga, the creator of Kwanzaa, he published a book entitled Kwanzaa, A Celebration of Family, Community, and Culture. So I just implore everyone to check out that reference as well, because he'll tell you exactly like what these elements stand for and why he did it and what the objectives of Kwanzaa are, straight from the creator. So just kind of want to plug that source as well.
All right. Uh, Finally, the Shumar 7 candles should be placed at the far right on everything else so that they might be available for the daily lighting. So these are some of the decorations that you need, some of the items that you need that you can have in your own home if you want to do it from your own home, if you don't have a different festival or celebration uh, in your area. Following the lighting of the candle, the kikombe, which is the unity cup that you see at the bottom of the picture here, umanja, is passed around. Then the kikombe should contain unfermented wine grape juice. Each person within the circle sips from the cup and says harabi, harabi, which means we are pulling together. I'm gonna show a video real quick. That was neat to me. I came across this. I don't know how I came across this.
What is Kwanzaa? KwanzaaMedia.com. How do I go about actually celebrating Kwanzaa?
Well, you can start by setting up a Kwanzaa display in your home.
What goes into a Kwanzaa display?
A Kwanzaa display has many of the symbols of Kwanzaa in it. There are key Swahili words like mkeka, which means straw mat. The mkeka is the foundation of the Kwanzaa display. It represents tradition and history. If we respect our history and tradition, then we can learn from those who came before us, our ancestors. By understanding where we come from, we will know where we need to go. The kanara is the candle holder for the 7 candles. It is placed on the mkeka. The kanara represents the Africans on the continent, our parent people. The mazao are the crops. The mazao symbolizes the reward of everybody working together. An African community that grows food will celebrate when they have a good harvest. It shows that all the hard work has paid off. And that's one of the things Kwanzaa is all about. The muhindi are ears of corn. Sometimes people refer to this as babunzi. In Swahili, babunzi means cob of corn. Muhindi means ears of corn. The muhindi represents the children. The muhindi, just like the children, begins as a small seed. It grows and becomes mature and produces more seeds. In your Kwanzaa display, you use one muhindi for each child in your home. Even if you don't have any children in your home, you still use one muhindi. That represents fertility and the fact that all of the children are our responsibility. The muhindi and the children symbolize hope and a better future. The zawadi are the gifts. During Kwanzaa, gifts are given as reward for goals that have been set and accomplished. Zawadi should be practical things like books, or things we make. The zawadi are usually given on the day of reminding, which is January 1st. The kikombe cha umoja is the unity cup. It represents one of the most important principles of Kwanzaa, umoja, which means unity. During a Kwanzaa ceremony, the kikombe cha umoja is passed to everyone who is there. When the cup is passed to you, you can take a real sip or pretend to take a sip. This is done to promote unity and to honor our ancestors. The Mishimasaba are the 7 candles. Each candle represents one of the 7 principles of the Nguzo Saba. The Mishimasaba are placed in the Kanara. A black candle goes in the middle, 3 red candles go on the left, and 3 green candles go on the right. The black candle is lit on the first day of Kwanzaa, Umoja. On the second day of Kwanzaa, Kujichagulia, you light a red candle. On the third day of Kwanzaa, Ujima, you light a green candle. On the fourth day of Kwanzaa, Ujamaa, you light a red candle. On the fifth day of Kwanzaa, Nia, you light a green candle. On the sixth day of Kwanzaa, Kuumba, you light a red candle. And on the seventh day of Kwanzaa, Imani, you light a green candle.
There are some other symbols that can go into your Kwanzaa display, and we call these supplementary Kwanzaa symbols. And they are a poster of the Nguzo Saba, the seven principles of Kwanzaa, and the Bandera ya Taifa, which is a cultural banner that can be hung in your Kwanzaa display. The Bandera ya Taifa contains a combination of the African liberation colors of black, red, green, and gold. The black is for the people. The red is for the blood that has been shed as we have struggled and continue to struggle to be free. The green is for the beauty of Africa and a symbol of hope. The gold is for the richness of Africa.
You can also go to Kwanzaa events in your community. But the best way to celebrate Kwanzaa is to make the Nguzo Saba an everyday part of your life.
All right, that was a lit video. Uh, I wanted to share, kind of went over some of the things that I would, and also I want to stand corrected. I said the fifth day, but it is the seventh day, which is Imani, that you give the Zawadas on the last day of Kwanzaa, which is January the 1st. All right, conclusion. The various Kwanzaa observations. Well, before I even read this, my conclusion. Told you I wasn't gonna hold you too long, family. Um, the the name of this presentation was "What is Kwanzaa?" and is Kwanzaa a real African celebration? And the slides that I have shown so far, where we went into Kwanzaa, I showed you the guy who created Kwanzaa in the late 60s. Um, Showed you in East Africa. I showed you in South Africa, and I showed you in West Africa. I showed you the people in Ghana, Togo, and Benin that practice voodoo or voodoo. You know, I showed you the people um, in South Africa, this big group called the Igunu people, who consist of different ethnic groups: the Zulu people, the Khoisan people, the Swazi people that practice this first fruit. I showed you the people in Uganda that practice and celebrate uh, uh, the first fruit. Um, who I'm missing? Having a brain for it, but again, I showed you in three different areas: east, south, and west. Um, that practice this thing. So, is Kwanzaa a real African celebration or is not a real African celebration? I'm asking, this is directed to the people in the chat. See if everybody was paying attention. Y'all ain't got to answer at one time. I guess then nobody pay attention. You got 32 people on here and they nobody 32 people didn't pay attention. You know, I'm just asking for a yes or no with just the information that I presented. The question is, Sister Kaba, is Kwanzaa a real African celebration? Because some people say it's made up. It's not a real African celebration. They don't know the history behind it or really what Kwanzaa is. We getting yes, 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 it is. Okay, you know. So that I just wanted to pose a question because I mean I got asked that last year and then I got asked that this year. You know, when I'm at work, people always asking me questions because I don't participate in these holidays. So people always ask me why I don't participate in these holidays. I explain, and a few people say they heard it was a made up holiday, and a few people, even attacked uh, brother Karenga on some things that happened uh, in the past. So I just wanted to go ahead and do something and propose a question and see. And then some people just didn't know exactly what Kwanzaa was. And a brother 2 weeks ago, uh, when I presented on the Mossi, I said I may entertain doing a presentation on it since Kwanzaa was coming up. And the brother asked me to do the presentation. So here I am. I did it. So I just want to do it. And, I wanted to propose a question. So we got the coin too. Okay. All right. So my conclusion is the various Kwanzaa observations on the African continent celebrates the collective efforts of the community at the end of the year. It brought together all of those who had worked for that community to give thanks for the fruits of their effort, as I've been stating through the whole presentation. Beloved and beautiful family, now we can stop saying Kwanzaa is a made up African holiday, and in truth, it is an African tradition, and the people have been celebrating and putting on the festival for their first crops since time immemorial. The families coming together to express their love and respect for each other through song, dance, and food. And we are doing that today. If you ever been to a Kwanzaa festival or you did it in the confines of your own home. Here are my references here. I keep it paused here and you can go through my references right here, African People and European Holidays, a mental genocide by Ishashango Musa Barashango, who is a Aku or a Gungun. He's an ancestor also by Kwanzaa. Here's another book, Kwanzaa Progressions of Uplifting African American Holidays by Hakeem R. Mahubuti. Uh, Another source, my first Kwanzaa book by Deborah Chocolate, which is another book. Uh, Document here on the Ungaza Saba, which nothing but was from Brother Karenga, the Ugaza Saba, and going through the detail of each word in Swahili and actually what it means. Uh, Another source, where this was just the biography of Karenga. Another source here at the bottom dealing with the terms and the names of the people of the in Swaziland. Um, the first fruit celebrations among the Uguni people. Um, Here, so this is where I got the source about the Uguni people with the Zulu people, the Khoisan uh, people. Somebody got the thing unmuted.
Man, you late. I've been open.
Go ahead, son.
I was letting you get through your sources, brother. I didn't want to interrupt you.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm done.
I can speak.
Yeah, you can speak.
I mean, because I know how you are when you on the mic.
Now I know you can be rude, but go ahead.
Now I'm rude. Now I'm rude.
No, go.
First, I wanna say, Hotep, ETM Hotep to Dr. Maya. Thank you for Dua for joining the panel today, and it's always good to be in your presence, Dr. Maya, and Brother Vasa and Satep and Ra. I just want to say Hotep to you two brothers for holding the fort down while I was tardy to the party, and peace to the chat. Um, you hear people deliberate a lot about Kwanzaa. Is it an African holiday or not? And um, and then they look for ways to not want to celebrate something that someone of African origin or descent creates for us to continue traditions. And in the process of creating these traditions, pass them on or down to our family members for us to have our uh, recognized holidays. So I don't care what you believe in, what your faith is. Something was created out of that faith base which you follow. It was created. Man created it. You remove man, you have no created holiday. You have nothing to celebrate, nothing to participate in. Okay, so these things are culturally based. This is um, we have to pay respects and honor what someone else has done to put forth something that can get us away from celebrating our enslavers holidays, our enslavers interpretations of festivals, and understand our own origins of or the reasons why that we celebrate these things. I think the meaning could be lost in the translation for a lot of people, because they're not paying attention to the actual details. So I commend the elder for creating or putting forth these seven principles that were pretty much, if you go back and you look at every cultural based entity on the continent of Africa, these things are already instilled in every part of Africa. West, central, south, north, and east Africa. So these are not things that were not already present. These are things that are elaborated on and brought forth to us in good faith and measure. So it keeps us in good spirit to know what these seven principles are and to follow the procedures and steps to dwell on these things. Now, Voodoo has something that they celebrate toward the end of the year. They have a celebration there. Then they open up the year with a celebration. You have to remember, festivals and celebrations are big for Africans. They did everything, whether it's the birth of a child through the naming ceremonies, whether it was the death of an ancestor, it was celebrated. Whether it was an occurrence or an event that happened in history that they marked or commemorated, they celebrated these things. Whether it was the seasons that changed, they celebrated these things. So festivals and celebrations are big for us, and we need to embrace and accept what we put forth and do what needs to be done to maintain them, because our kids need to know the difference. They don't need to know Santa Claus is white, Santa Claus is coming down the chimney, Rudolph got a red nose, all of these things. How about some traditional African folklore written in the context during these days of Kwanzaa that they could relate to? And those are some challenges that I've made. I've actually asked an author to put some work out, that write children's books, to put some work out in regards to some things centered around Kwanzaa. Be creative in that gesture. Put some things out so that our kids can learn some folklore, so to say, or some mythology, so to say, around Kwanzaa, which would also help them remember and embrace the days, the meanings behind the days, the specific colorings and everything, so that we can keep this thing rolling, because it's our job to stand on all of our ancestors' shoulders and move their works forward anyway. So, pretty long-winded, but that's pretty much all I got to say. Wanted to say, and I'll yield. I got one more thing. I'm sorry. One more thing.
You good? You good? Go ahead.
I can say it.
Yeah, you can say it.
Black African power, family.
And I told y'all I wasn't gonna, be too long. I ain't have but 20 some slides, and put it together real fast. I hope everybody appreciated the presentation. I hope everybody learned. I hope people go back and dig into some of those ethnic groups, those African tribes uh, that are named and named. We call they things Kwanzaa. They call them other different things, but it means first fruit, celebrations of the first crops. you know what I'm saying, rituals, ceremonies behind those things, you know, celebrating them coming together, reaping their works or reaping uh, what they produce or reaping from the harvest. So anybody else got anything? Anybody on the panel?
I just want to say publicly, Brother Kofu, that you gave a wonderful presentation. I feel like it was very informative and also very powerful. Um, and that's all I wanted to say. You did a wonderful job conveying the meaning of Kwanzaa and driving home the point that it is definitely a holiday that is rooted in African tradition and culture.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Dua. Anybody else got anything?
He's still pseudo.
Sean, my biggest hater. You know, you big is my biggest, but I know he love me. You know, he hate on me because he love me so much.
Kofi, I'm your biggest hater.
You my biggest
you want to retract that? I'm gonna give you a chance. I'm gonna give you. Come on now.
What you been telling everybody? I'm being biggest hater.
No, no. I'm not getting involved.
Hey, Kofi, I just wanted to add one more thing, brother. A lot of the naysayers to Kwanzaa, I've been battling with them since the first day of Kwanzaa, and the biggest, I guess I don't want to say dagger, but the biggest thing with a lot of these naysayers is that whenever Kwanzaa comes around, they act as if we're celebrating the man, Dr. Karim, Malena Karenga. And so what they'll say is, well, Dr. Ma'at, you celebrating Kwanzaa, but this man was people, they slandered the elder. I'll just say that. They slandered the elder. And in spite of the fact that his name was cleared up by Geronimo Pratt, a lot of people will, their whole past actions of the elder over, they'll bring it up each time that Kwanzaa comes around. And so I just want people under the sound of my voice to understand that when we're celebrating Kwanzaa, we're not celebrating Dr. Malena Karenga. We're celebrating family, community, and culture. That's what we're doing. We're recommitting ourselves to our highest ideals. We're making a self-conscious decision to celebrate our culture. That's what we're doing. All right. But a lot of people, I'm telling you, all this week on Facebook and Instagram, they've been, kind of dragging the elder, and they do it every year, so I'm not surprised because they've been doing this every year. But I just want to make the point or drive home the point that during Kwanzaa, we're not celebrating man, we're celebrating the concept.
Right. And every year, somebody bring that up to me about the elder who created Kwanzaa too. And I always have to tell them the same thing. That, excuse me, been cleared up years ago. Years ago. But they know that's how it is. When you do something, they always trying to ostracize, anyone that's trying to do something good, to better for the betterment of our people. We see that. We done seen that through time immemorial.
I have a question for the people that continue to revert back toward his I would say his failure, that moment that he failed himself. What happened in your moment when you failed yourself? Did you want people to not forget, but did you want people to forgive and allow you an opportunity to move forward, to show that you understood your wrong and you can correct it? Or did you want them to continue to hold it over your head in key moments in your life where you're trying to do something to not only unify, but to educate and to move forward a people? So I ask, how clean is your closet? You are you so caught up in demonizing the brother for past mistakes. I mean, where I'm from, everybody has done something or has something that's going on in their life where things just didn't transpire the way that they had, and it led to unfortunate circumstances. So I'm looking at somebody whose forehead real big and they have some stuff going on with them, but I don't even want to talk about it right now. I'm just playing. But but for real, man, in all seriousness, how long do we want to demonize someone who's tried to correct the wrong and move forward? This is beautiful. Somebody I own. Yeah, they did it in real time. So, I ain't holding it over his head because who am I?
I love that phrase. He said, "How I love the question. How clean is your closet?
Right.
Yeah.
How clean is your closet?
He can be smart sometimes. Sean can be smart sometimes.
But I'm his biggest hater. I just want to throw that out there.
I know. We just be kidding, family. It's all in love. We do this every show. Every show. You got to show you can have some fun too. You don't have to be serious all the time. Um, so Tip, you got anything, man?
Nah. It was a good show, man. It was very informative. I learned something from everybody on the panel. This presentation, just listening in on Kwanzaa and where it come from, who created it, and all that stuff. So yeah, man, it was definitely a good presentation, real informative. I appreciate everybody on the panel.
Yeah, that's a Tip and Raw, Miriaman. Yeah. I got this my last slide here. I'm always have to promote various groups and platforms that I'm involved in. This year I am a member as well as Satep and Ra, who's on the panel, as well as any Sean California, who's on the panel. We are members of the Seshuma Ni Meta Nature Group. We are a group of like-minded individuals who is striving to be better scribes. We are trying to learn the language, which is the Ronnie Kemet, and the writing script, which is called the Sesh Metanet. Please go and subscribe to that channel. We have a lot of content on our YouTube channel where we translate and transliterate. We had something that we did for a few years from 2015 um, to 2017, and we didn't really get to 2017, and for about it's been over a year. It's been hard for us all to get together due to schedule changing and different things happening in our life. But we were consistent for 3 years, so it's a lot of content on there. Freestyle Friday and Divine Words Wednesday. We did something consistent for 3 years. So we're showing you that it can be done. You can transliterate and transliterate the glyphs or what we call the sesh. We also have new stuff on there. Go check out our website, Seshuma Nature, where you can find publications on there. Seba Wujao has articles. The beginner course book, if you want to take the classes, register for the class, it is also on that website. If you want to buy the rebuttal book by Walter Williams, have the ancient hieroglyph writings been deciphered, and Emiket penmanship book is on the website if you want to purchase it, or you can get the bundle pack, and it's not that expensive. Also, go ahead.
I just want to let everybody know that 2019, at the beginning of 2019, Mossi Warrior brother, Benjamin Najee, we just call him Black Panther, will be releasing the first Pan-African journal for the community. It's a big deal. We have, I can tell you right now, there's a few articles that I'm interested in wanting to read. One of them is Asar Imhotep's article that he specially has for this journal, which is going to be powerful. Kofi is supposed to have written work for the journal. I think I may feature 2 articles. There's some poetry, some other people that's already lined up to actually be published in the journal. This journal will be, the first not only Pan-African journal, but it will be, people are going to scrutinize the work here. And some of these articles that have been written, reviewing a lot of the artistic work and expressions there. So if you're interested or if you have a passion and you want to display that passion, please email Brother Ben at mossiwarrior@gmail.com, mossiwarriorclan@gmail.com. Email, or hit Brother Ben up on Facebook. Let him know you're interested. He'll send you a link where you can send an email, send your work to Brother Ben, and we will, make sure you got it edited, and he'll review it. And if it's legit, it will be be published in a journal, and hopefully, people will review it, appreciate it, and move forward. But yes, we are excited about it. Nobody else has done this, so we're going to let not only the community put the community on notice with the Pan African Journal, we're also going to put the world on notice with the first Pan African Journal out of the community. So we're looking for all interested. Please hit him up, and remember, this will be reviewed by a large majority, and that's the goal, is to get our works out to the masses, and we'll deal with it scholarship wise. So that's it. My bad.
Oh no, you good, and that's what in 2019 Kofi Piesie is going to be focused on. I'm going to be focusing more on writing articles. I've been busy the past 2 or 3 weeks, so I hadn't finished the article for the journal, but you got to the middle of January to submit it, so I'm going to submit mine next week. I just got to tweak a few things and finish it. And but my goal in 2019 is to have more published work. So you'll still see the presentations. I might
What
not
about that
be.
book? I'm interested in your journal, but we have people in the audience that is interested in the book that you have completed. So we want to know when you're going to actually, get your cover done and actually publish the book that we've been hearing about for too long, that's been complete, that you let someone else read that we haven't read. What
Well,
about that book?
it's I don't know, man. It's
No, no,
coming.
no,
I
no.
don't.
I wonder if Dr. Ma'at knew that you've written a book and it's complete.
I don't know. I might have.
Kofi, say it ain't so. Say it ain't so, Kofi. That you
Yeah,
wrote the book and that it was complete, and you let other people preview the book, and we
yeah.
haven't seen it. Say it ain't so.
I'm gonna have to send y'all some.
No,
Brother
no, no, no.
Ben
She
sent me
asked you a question,
Right.
brother.
Say it ain't so.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to send it. I don't know. I don't.
No,
To
no, no,
me,
no, no. No,
Yeah,
no, no, no.
he's
Don't
still
bug
buck
dance.
dancing a little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah, yeah,
All right,
yeah.
he's
He's
still
bug dancing.
a little bit.
She asked you a question. Do you have a book that's finished?
Right.
yes, I have a book that is finished. It is
Okay.
called the Raw Document, and the Raw Document, the many manifestations of Ra. The book is actually talking about the 75 names of Ra. So for people that wants to know exactly kind of what the book is going to be on, you can go to Kofi Piesie TV. I did a presentation on there called it may be called the Ra Document, or it may be called it's called the 75 Names of Ra. And I actually give some of that information is coming from my book. So if you want to see some of my information already, you can go to that presentation and look at that presentation. And it's about an hour and a half presentation, and that information I got that I collected, and it is in my book. Though it is called a Raw Document and the Many Manifestations of Raw. It's coming sometime. I don't know. I'm just hard. Well, I'm just hard on myself when it comes to that. Even with this article I'm writing, it's I done changed it like 4 or 5 times before I got busy and couldn't finish it. But now that I'm all moved and situated now, I'm gonna try to finish it and then send it off so they can be reviewed and then be put in the thing. But I'm gonna send you some of it, Doctor. Oh yeah, I'm gonna send Sean. I'm gonna send everybody on the panel a little bit and let them look
Stop,
at it.
stop telling us
I
you're gonna
am.
send us stuff.
I'm gonna send it
Just
to you.
send it, Kofi. We would like to peer review your work,
Uh,
sir. As a brother, Kofi, I would like to read your work and be proud of my brother actually writing a book and putting a book out. So I would like to read the work, and I'm very sure that Dr. Ma'at would love to review your work and to give you her insight on it before you publish the book, so that we can hurry up and get Kofi Piesie's book out, so people can really know that you've laid down the law. And I don't know what's taking you so long with this journal if you've already written a book, like Ben says all the time.
I mean, the journal, man. I'm hard. I done changed that journal like 3 or 4, no, 4 times to be exact. I done changed and
See,
took stuff out, and
When are and maybe one of you guys can answer this question. When are articles due?
you got to the middle of January to submit him.
Oh,
He's gonna
okay.
stop. Yeah, he's gonna stop in the middle of January.
Okay.
Hmm. Yeah. But yeah, I'll you just support the Session My Ani Metaneta Facebook. Uh,
no. We're going to do that anyway. We're going to support the session. We get that. Right now, we focused in on, can we get Kofi to drop this book? Because it is important in 2019 that we raise the bar.
right.
So I need you to like put this book out.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it.
See, people agree with me. So we're applying pressure. Everybody, every time y'all see Kofi go live, ask him about the book. From now, everybody, what a book, Kofi.
Yeah.
You know, how far along are you on the book? If the book is done.
Yeah.
I say this, Sean. I need my copy tonight, Kofi. Tonight. And this it's about 10 o'clock where I'm at, so I need it before midnight, my time.
I got you, man. I'm I still got your email address. Well, send me your email address again, man.
All right, I got you.
Yeah. But go and support the Session My Ani Metaneta YouTube channel, Facebook page, support our published uh, works. Also go support Kofi Piesie TV. Kofi Piesie TV is the channel that takes the black man, the black woman, and black child, Eurocentric mind, and Africanize. I guarantee if it's anything that you want to know about African culture, African traditions, the way of the ancestors, whatever you want to call it, is on Kofi Piesie TV. It is the African Netflix. So please go support that channel. I should have 1,000 subscribers for Kofi Piesie TV now. I don't have it, but it's cool. I appreciate the people that support my channel, that consistently support my channels. I appreciate the people who direct people to the channel, because once they direct them to the channel and they look at the content, they subscribe automatically, and then they tell 1 or 2 people, and then when they get a chance to look at it, they get hooked, and then they tell somebody. So it's spreading, but it's spreading slowly. But I'm happy about the platform. I'm happy about the channel. I started the channel last year, and I'm like 70 videos in. I'm 70 videos in uh, on Kofi Piesie TV. So please tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend about Kofi Piesie TV. A few months ago, I started the Kofi Piesie TV family. And now you just not seeing my presentations. Now you got Satepara Mariama, who's on the panel. He has a few presentations. Vasa Nicolo, he has a few presentations on there. You have Any Harriet Sean Calfunny, who has a few presentations on there. T'Challa Bangara has a few presentations on there. So now you just don't only see my presentations, you see the family presentations that are on there as well. Proud of these guys. These guys actually motivate me and inspire me. So that's why I wanted them to do stuff and put stuff on the channel. So that channel is their channel as well. I might end up changing the channel name to something else later on, but Kofi Piesie TV is where it again is the black channel. It is the channel that takes a black man, black woman, and black child, Eurocentric mind, and Africanized. So please go and support Kofi Piesie TV. Also go subscribe to the Mossi Warrior Clan, which I am a member of, as well as Sean, who's on the panel, is a member of the Mossi Warrior Clan channel. Please go support the channel, support the content. I don't care if you want to know anything about West Africa, it is on this channel. We have virtued off We're not only just in West Africa. If you want to know stuff about East Africa, it's on here. You want to know stuff about Central Africa, it's on here. You want to know things about South Africa, it's on here. So please subscribe to this channel. We were trying to get 1,000 subscribers before the new year. We had 975 subscribers. So please tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Let's get this 1,000 subscribers before Tuesday or whatever the first is on. So let's get that. So please support Mossi Warrior Clan channel. Also support our like page. The like page has so much information on the channel. I mean, on the like page, we post stuff every day. I hadn't been posting stuff as regular as I normally. I've been posting stuff here and there for the past 2 weeks because again, I've been very busy. I done moved, so I've been 2 weeks. So now I'm still, so I'll be back rapidly posting things on there. Sean posts stuff on there daily. Ben been posting a few things on there. A few other members every now and then. I'm in my outright post something on there every now and then, but me and Sean, we try to be consistent with posting stuff on the like page. So if you hadn't liked the page, please go to Facebook page, like the Facebook page. You're gonna enjoy the information that we putting on that page, and also information on this channel. Let's get this 1,000 subscribers before Tuesday. We at 975. Let's get it, family. He said 981, so we at 981 now. So let's get it. We almost there that mark. Let's get that 1,000 subscribers for the Mossi Warrior Clan before the first, before 2009 come in. So please support the channel. Also support Dr. Oyama Art. If you still on here, please give him your Facebook page, give him your YouTube channel. Also give them your publications, your videos, and etc. So they can know where to get that at.
All right, peace and love, family. You can reach me on Facebook, but on Facebook I have a like page, Dr. Oyama Art, and I also have well, I'll just say like that page. I won't even give out the personal pages locked down, so I won't give that out. But you can contact me on Facebook, Dr. Oyama Art. That's my like page. You can also reach me at dr.maat.msu@gmail.com. Visit Ed Enemy Productions, which is a company that was co-founded by my family to create educational and entertaining tools for children of color. Please support the Meltrek Project. That is our flagship project, and it is a project that teaches children about African culture, history, and achievements from an African-centered perspective. So please support the Meltrek Project. You can simply go to Google, type in Meltrek, and links to access our website and YouTube videos and all sorts of stuff should populate. Thank you so much, Brother Kofi, for having me, and I look forward to future discussions.
All right. Well, family, again, before I get off, I just do I appreciate everybody taking out the time to rock out with us every time we go live and we do these presentations, or we do these discussions, or we do these bills. I mean, I really appreciate it, because y'all could be doing anything else with y'all time, but y'all took time out y'all schedule to rock out with us for an hour and a half. We even had people that I knew got to be dedicated Mossi Warrior Clan fans. They rocked out with us for 5 hours on a which will never happen ever again. But they rocked out with us for 5 years on a controversial topic. So again, appreciate y'all for tuning in. I got one more thing to say. I want to say Black African Power, family. And we'll see y'all in 2019. This was the last presentation on the Mossi Warrior Clan channel in 2018. And leave y'all with the video.
You think they paid a fair price? Or did they take it like they took everything else? Street is a clock that people use to tell
the political and cultural time of day. It is also a compass that people use to find themselves on the map of human geography. History tells of people where they have been and what they have been, where they are and what they are.
Like a warrior. Walk like a warrior. Walk like a warrior. Walk like a warrior. I ain't talking about no gangster. I ain't talking about no gangster. I'm hollering at the missionary culture. Bang on out.